Alright, so today we're going to be doing Proverbs 25, 28 ESV, and we're also going to be reading Epictetus. They both go hand to hand, and you'll see how they kind of mesh together. So, first, going with Proverbs 25:28, it says, "A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls." Now, the Epictetus quote says, "No man is free who is not a master of himself." So, they're basically saying the same two things, which come down to this. If you can't control yourself, you're vulnerable to everything. So, a way to put this into imagination is this. In ancient times, a city without a wall wasn't weak, it was defeated basically. There was no way to protect it, there was no structure of safety around it, it was just nothingness. Now, that means anyone could enter, anyone could take from it and run away, or anyone could burn it down. Proverbs says a man without control is the same way. This isn't really talking about muscles or strength or confidence in public. It's talking about when you're alone, when no one is watching, when you're tired, when you're emotional, when you're tempted, and when you're bored. If you can't command yourself in those moments, then life commands you. Epictetus takes it further. No man is free who is not a master of himself. Which means this: you can have money and still be a slave. You can have status and still be a slave. You can have followers and still be a slave. If your urges control you, you are not free. And that's with anything. Playing video games. If you don't know when to put the game away, you're a slave to it. And we'll get more into that in a second. Because it goes into this as well. Lust, addiction, and weak habits. And lust is not just sexual. Addiction is not just substances. Weakness is not just laziness. And they all come from the same root problem. The inability to say no to your own impulses. A man without discipline eats whatever he wants. He watches whatever he wants. He sleeps whenever he wants with no schedule. He avoids anything that's hard or stressful. He chases whatever feels good. And he runs from whatever feels heavy and responsible. That man is not evil necessarily. He is unguarded, and unguarded cities will always fall or be burnt down or stolen from or broken. So you don't need to be perfect, because self-control isn't about being perfect. It's about knowing that if you don't rule yourself, something else will. If you get angry easily and don't rule it, then your anger is going to rule you. If you don't rule your lust or be able to run away from it, like the Bible says, like Jesus tells us to do, then your lust is going to rule you. If you're super stressful or super anxious and you don't control it or try to, it's going to rule you. Your procrastination will rule you. And none of those things build a good life. So God isn't asking a man to be sinless. He's asking a man to be watchful. No walls doesn't mean no strength, but it means no boundaries. So when you think about it, Christianity doesn't teach try harder, be tougher, or be flawless. It teaches to die to the flesh so that the spirit can lead. Because discipline isn't about self-hatred, it's about self-government under God. A disciplined man doesn't react instantly. He doesn't chase every thought. He doesn't obey the urge. He doesn't run from the moment when life gets hard or uncomfortable or confusing. He chooses his actions. He doesn't let feelings choose for him. So, in a weird way, how you can put this into implementing it into your everyday life is small steps like this. When you're hungry, don't just eat when you're bored, and don't just stop eating right when you get super full. Stop before you get a little discomforted. Make sure you eat for a reason, not just because you can. Sleep on time, even when entertainment is tempting. It doesn't matter if there's a game that's about to happen, if your friends want to play one more game. It's about having a consistent schedule because that takes discipline. And this is the biggest one right here, lust. You have to cut off access to it. If certain social media is making you look at females with lust or looking at men with lust, cut it off. You do it by deleting it entirely or just limiting your time on it. Removing triggers instead of pretending you're strong because God tells us to flee. I know most sins in the Bible, God says to fight, to overcome them. Lust he tells you to run from it. It's not something that we can handle ourselves. So, there's another one when it's emotions. If you get into a heated argument with your spouse, your friends, or your family, try to take a step back. It's hard, I know, but speaking when you're angry is gonna make you say things you don't really mean, or that you haven't thought through. So the best thing you could do about it is pausing before you react. Learn to sit with discomfort and hurt feelings without it escaping you, because each of these things will build its brick wall. So that way your heart won't be boundaryless. It will have walls, and not walls that are, making you ice cold, but walls that protect you. You don't need to build a wall in one day, but you need to build it piece by piece at a time. So to summarize all of this is this. Discipline is not restriction. Discipline is protection. And before you try to lead anyone else, you must first lead yourself.